Well, hey there, welcome back to Magic String Works. So today on the workbench we have this 2008 Gibson Les Paul Studio. The owner brought it in to me to have a look at. He bought it new and he hasn't really had a good time with it. Fret buzzing, noises, tuning instability. He's brought it back to the store a few times. He's had other techs look at it and just can't seem to get it right. So he's hoping that I'll be able to figure out what the issue is. So this video is going to be about diagnosing the problem. Probably has to do with the nut or some fret somewhere, but we'll start having a look at it and see what we can find. Well, to diagnose any problem, I need to make sure that the setup is decent, something close to what I would have it. So I'm going to put a capo on the first fret. I'm going to check the neck relief. I like to see between 6 and 8 thousandths of an inch at the 7th fret. So I'm going to push down here at the body joint and see what we have with 8 thousandths. I think you might be able to hear that. It's just touching. So it's a little less than 8. Here's 6 thousandths. Yeah, so could use maybe a touch of neck relief. When I strum the E string, A string, I don't really hear anything buzzing here, so that's okay. I know the owner said, of course, it's the D, the G, and the B sort of strings that give him problems. But let's see. Okay, well, definitely the G string. You can hear that. Okay, so that G string is going to be a problem. Okay, so neck relief is low, but it's not horrible, so we won't touch anything with the truss rod yet. So Gibson spec for Les Paul style guitars is 5/64 for the 6th string and 3/64 for the 1st string, the treble side, so bass and treble side. So 5/64 is about 2 millimeters, 3 is about 1.2 millimeters. I usually like 4/64, 1.6 mils across all the strings. But here I'm going to use my string and pickup height gauges, and you can purchase these at magicstringworks.com if you like. Shameless plug, of course. So let's take out the 5/64, and I'm just going to run it under the string, and you can hear that it's touching. I can't get it, so that means that it's lower than 5. It's maybe 4. Let's see, 4/64. Yeah, so it's about 4/64, which I like. It's not the Gibson spec, but here's 3/64 on the treble side. Yeah, and I'm catching under there. So that's too low in my opinion. You really need to have it around 4 for these guitars. So I think what I'm going to do is raise up the treble side a little bit to get it to 4/64. So both the bass and the treble side are at 4/64. Of course, under string tension, you can't just turn the wheel and move it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a piece of leather here. And I have this little pry bar, which you've seen in other videos before. I'm going to get in under there, and I'm just going to be able to lever up to get some room. But I'm going to, first of all, loosen the tension on the strings a little bit. And so we need to bring this up a touch. So I'm going to lever it back, and then that allows me to move the wheel and get it to about where I want. So I'll start there. Okay, so I've raised up the bridge saddle, so 4/64. Yeah, so just getting under there. Okay, so we're 4/64 across, well, I'm assuming across all the strings, if the saddles haven't been carved out. Yeah, okay, that's pretty good. All right. Action string height has been adjusted to where I like it. So pickup height shouldn't affect the fret buzzing, fret noise. But I'll just check these and see where they are. So again, using my gauges, so on the bass side I like to see 1/8, so about 3.2 millimeters, and that's too high. And on the treble side, 3/32 or 6/64, so which is 2.4, 2.5, so they're both very high. So I'm going to lower these down just to sort of take out the element of the pickups interfering somehow, pulling the strings down, that kind of thing. Okay, so I really suspect that the issue is going to be with the nut on this guitar. If it's been fooled around with a bunch of times, you can't go back, right, once you start filing it down too low. And it really does feel, so if I push down on the third and there's a little bit of play here at the first fret, here it's right on the fret, so the A is right on the fret. The D is right on the fret, the G is right on the fret, B, and the E. So they're all really low. And I like to see, so 16 thousandths would be a really nice low nut action on the first fret. And I can't even get that under the first string without pushing it hard. See with the second string. Yeah, it's really hitting it. There, catching again. So we're much lower than 16. So the E string, though, that's pretty good. We're right on. So you can see I'm pushing the feeler gauge right on top of the fret, keeping it flat on the fret. And if I strum the string, yeah, so there's not enough. Now I can't even get this one under the D string. So for the hell of it, let me see. Let me try 10 thousandths, which would be crazy low. Of course, that'll go under the E. A, no. D, no. First string, no. 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 So, you know, we're talking an action here probably around 6 thousandths or less, which are, you know, very little. Here's 6 thousandths. Oh, there we go. It's ringing. It's ringing. Let me get that straight. So that's going to be okay. That's going to be okay. See the D. Let me get this down here. So this is very flexible, this one now. So yeah. So yeah, I think that's the real issue, is that the nut slots have been cut too low over time, and now you're going to get that ringing in the open position for sure. So when you're strumming some open chords. So I think that's really the problem. Now tuning wise, we'll have a look at the nut in a second. Okay, so if we look at the nut here, you can see the strings. So I kind of like there's angle built in a little bit into these nut slots. So certainly on the D and the G, you want to see these nut slots angling towards the tuner, not just straight back like that. So I do see that a little bit. And obviously someone's put some pencil lead or, you know, graphite, that kind of thing in there as a lube. So, plus the break angle, if it's not sitting right in here, could cause some rattling. It's a good way to test too with the break angle. If you push on the back, if you had some rattling and then you push on the back of the string past the nut and it goes away, tells you that the string is not seated properly or the break angle is not good. That's one of the indicators at least. High fine. Okay. Because it is a rattle or a fret noise, just make sure that these frets are level to each other. So I'll use the fret rocker and just check and see, because, yeah, oh, there you go. So the third fret, and I'm just going to make a mark. Definitely a little high. So that could be super frustrating. You know, you go through the changes at the nut, you do all your adjustments for the action, and then you still have some buzzing going on, and it's because there's a high fret there. And pretty much almost across the whole fret. Make another little mark, couple marks. So it might just need to be pressed back in. You know, sometimes that happens over time. They dry out. I'll check the rest of the neck and see if there's any issue. Get yourself a little fret rocker. They're really invaluable to trying to figure out some sort of crazy hidden noises. Play it now that it's set up to where I think it should be, and then just see if we have any fret out stuff going on anywhere else higher up the fingerboard. I didn't feel that before. Okay, these frets are really dirty. Well, here's one last thing. So again, to eliminate, you know, a source of noise, fret noise or buzzing on the string, so I'm going to take just a piece of paper and I want to pass it under the string in the back of the bridge here. And if it goes under there, it means there's a clearance, so the string is not actually going to touch the back of the bridge. So that'll happen sometimes if your tailpiece is too low, and you can get some strange sympathetic sort of ringing sounds going on. So if you just take a piece of paper and you just go like that underneath, as long as it goes under, you know you have clearance. So, and I use a piece of paper, and it's not a trick I invented, but it's easier to see. Sometimes it's hard to see with your eyes. You know, you got to get really, so it's just a lot easier just to do that. Anyways, that's okay. I don't mind if the tailpiece is up a little higher. Generally, there's lots of break angle on these guitars. You know, just having a look at these frets too, they're really dirty, corroded. And there's not really a lot of fret wear because, like I said, this owner didn't really play this guitar much because he really didn't like the way it would buzz out and the tuning issues. So hopefully we can sort that out for him. Okay, so you might say, Doctor, what's the diagnosis? Well, after checking the neck relief, after setting up the string height and the pickups, I haven't looked at the intonation because that's really not going to have anything to do with the fret buzzing. Discovered one high fret here, the 3rd fret, which will either have to be recrowned or maybe pressed back in a little bit. And the nut action, so the height of the string above the 1st fret is way too low, especially here when you get to the D and the G, B. So these really need to, the nut really needs to be replaced, I believe, reshaped, nut slots done properly so that we have about 16 to 18 thousandths of relief consistent across all the strings. That'll help eliminate any sort of fret noise, certainly in the open position. And you'll make sure the nut slots, you know, are angled back to the tuners as much as we can. Okay, so I'm gonna have to contact the client and let them know my findings and see how they want to proceed. So I hope you enjoyed this. It's just a diagnosis video, and these are the steps that I would use to sort of figure out what's going on with a guitar that has a lot of string and fret noise and you just can't seem to figure it out. Alright, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.